market on this gorgeous sunny morning. It's kind of inspired me to do something light and fresh and summery. And because there's loads of rhubarb in season, which has just come into the market, I'm going to make kind of an Italian version of what you do here in Britain, which is the fool. And instead of kind of using cream, I'm going to use mascarpone. And I'm going to use delicious pine nuts roasted, sprinkled on top of that beautiful crunch, and then lemon in it too to get a lovely zest. Lemon and rhubarb work so well together. So the first thing you want to do is get your rhubarb on poaching. So you want to make your syrup, which is water and sugar together. And in that poaching, I'm going to put a little bit of lemon zest. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon into it. You can also put a bit of fresh ginger in here as well. Okay, and I'm going to cut my rhubarb about that long, and I'm going to cut it into strips, like that, like little kind of matchsticks like that. If this looks a little bit too painstaking for you, you could also just slice it. So this is a perfect spring dessert dish to serve. And it's really easy as well because you can get the rhubarb all done the day beforehand, you know, if you're having people around for dinner. And then just kind of assemble it then before people arrive, you know, mix it in with the mascarpone and the lemon. And just go straight into the pot. So it'll just take about 5 minutes to poach. So while they're poaching, I'm going to roast up my pine nuts. But just be careful because pine nuts are quite oily and they will roast a lot faster than hazelnut would. And while that's roasting, I'm just going to zest my lemon. So with the zest, you just want to be careful that you get the outer layer of the lemon. So just gently rub it against it. I love fools, especially in the summer, especially with meringues, mashed through it and everything, you know, making an eating mess. And when I moved to Italy about 3 years ago, the quality of the cream of the panna in Italy isn't as good as it is here in the UK and Ireland. But the mascarpone is fantastic. So I started making fools by putting in mascarpone instead. And then I'm going to get a bowl, and I'm just going to drain off my rhubarb. So into a bowl we want to put mascarpone cream. Okay, so a good blob of that. Rhubarb, look at the colour of the rhubarb. It's beautiful, it's so pink and girly. I don't think there's many men at home getting excited about that colour. So you just want to mix all that rhubarb to the mascarpone. I put in my lemon zest as well. Need some lemon. The pine nuts, just a couple sprinkled in would be lovely. And you know what? I think it's missing something else. And you know what I'm going to do? I have some biscottis. Kind of an impromptu idea, so it's a bit of a test. And I think if I crush them up and put them in, that could act as a good substitute like the meringue would, you know, in the eating mess. Because I think it just needs something crunchy to add into it. Just chop them up. Sail down the aisle very well together. Just mix these all together. A glass little bowl would be the nicest thing for it, so you can see all the lovely colours of the lemon and the rhubarb. So you would think that because there's a lot of cream in here, that it would be quite heavy, but I promise you it doesn't taste. I don't really like heavy desserts, especially after a big meal. I like ending things in a light way. A small bit more zest on top. Small sprinkle of pine nuts. And one biscotti biscuit just to encourage somebody to grab and have a go. So there we go, my Italian twist on the British classic fool. I'm going to call it my Italian dolce frappe with rhubarb, mascarpone and lemon.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's outstanding.
You get that little hint of rhubarb, but it adds a sweetness to it. It's very good.
I think I like the combination of the pine nuts and the lemon zest.
And it's not something that I probably would have ordered someplace, but it's delicious.
Yay, they loved it. So there we go, my rhubarb, mascarpone and lemon whip.